Welcome, everybody, back to the Desired Internet Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Fatcat, joined once again by Fred 3000.
Hello there.
I apologize for our long gap since the last time we did this. It has been, I believe, more than a month.
It has, I think so.
Yes,
There's been a lot going on, so
indeed. So, today's topic of discussion is the infamous debate between who would win in a fight, 100 men or a gorilla. So I think, in short, the whole concept of 100 men versus one gorilla. Taking a look at the Wikipedia here. Originally, it dated in 2020, and it was earlier this year that this
it
this
really
sort of
blew
blew up.
up.
Yeah. So in short, it's like we're assuming the men aren't armed.
Yeah, it would be assumed that the 100 men are completely unarmed, as is the gorilla.
Mm. So it's like an even matchup. And I believe the Wikipedia says that it's the silverback gorilla.
Yes, it is a silverback gorilla.
Yeah. So I think for this episode, we're both gonna say our positions and like sort of what we think on weighing in on this topic. I know we're a little late, but it's fun. So Fred, would you like to go first?
I will. Personally, I think if 100 men went up against one gorilla, the 100 men would most likely defeat the gorilla. That's who I think would win. How about you?
It's interesting because I really don't know.
It
I mean,
is difficult. I mean, you gotta like look at all the ways you could do it, and you gotta think about it. It's it is difficult to think on who would win.
I think I think the gorilla might have the upper edge here. I think it does. So I'm gonna say the gorilla, but it's very, very narrow in my mind.
So the gorilla definitely does has the upper hand in strength, but the thing is there's 100 men. But then again, like for example, do you think you could defeat 100 small children who came and attacked you? It's similar to a gorilla versus 100 men. Do you think you could defeat all 100 children?
I I think I could.
See, and that's where you go. The gorilla would win.
Not like
But
we are
then
condoning this activity.
exactly, we're not condoning fighting children. But the thing is, there's 100 of them, and there's only one gorilla. They're not going up one at a time, because that's just a death sentence.
Yeah, we're not doing lineups here.
You could have all of the 100 men swarm the gorilla. The gorilla cannot defeat 100 men at one time. So that's why I think the gorilla would lose to 100 men because they could swarm the gorilla, all of them going at once. The gorilla cannot deal with all 100 of them at the same time. That's why I believe that the gorilla would lose. And yeah, because it's so many of them coming at you at once. It's hard to fight all of them off.
Mm. It doesn't help that the Wikipedia for 100 Men versus a Gorilla is showing a bunch of old white men from the 60s from
Yeah. I
the
mean,
U.S. National Archives.
the thing is, like, also, the 100 men, they're most likely all going to be like physically fit, like
What
people who are going to be strong.
true, but it depends because if we're talking about 100 random people, like we
If
went
it's
into
100
downtown.
random men
Yeah.
and then you've been drafted to fight the gorilla, number 47, like that, in that case, there is a chance that the gorilla could win because you could get like a really bad selection and have like 80 frail old men and they're not going to stand a chance. That is definitely something we need to talk about.
Yeah,
See,
because like, go on.
if like there is this clear difference if you had like 100, like even between just having like 100 like well fit people to attack the gorilla, they'd probably win. But like 100 frail old men, their bones aren't gonna last very long.
Mm. And that's why I went with the gorilla originally, because I was thinking, well, if you're if you're taking 100 random people and you stick them in a field in the middle of nowhere, probably in Saskatchewan, and you grab a gorilla and they start fighting, it's like there's gonna be like one guy, or like there's gonna be like a decent amount that have been like they're hitting the gym, they've got a good PR, they can lift weights, like they can actually like they've got strength to them. But then
Yeah,
you've also got like, there's gonna be one guy that's just like
one guy who
completely
like
insane, does not know what he's doing, like hit like literally skin and bones.
one guy who unfortunately got drafted off the streets.
And this guy's like an alcoholic. Like it's completely like it really is random.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you had like, but then again, there's the amount, like, you gotta like think, there's 100 of them. Could you fight off 100 trillion? Are you like sure you could fight off 100 children? Like, that's a lot. They
Absolutely.
just swarm you, like all of them at once, they swarm you, you're gonna be like in the middle of a giant pile. Like you are, it would be really, really hard.
Mm.
Like, even if they're small and little, there's still a lot of them. Now, they are children, they don't know anything, so they probably don't know how to attack you, but these people know how to, like, at least defend themselves. So,
Mm.
I still I still think you just have to get really unlucky with the specific people who get drafted to fight the gorilla. I still think just the average draft of people would still defeat the gorilla.
So you're saying people over
Yeah,
gorilla.
I think people would win.
Funny enough, one of the responses to this was um a senator from Montana. His name is Tim Sheedy. She, I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce that last name. I apologize.
We'll just call him
Well,
Sheev.
we're gonna call him Tim.
Okay, we'll call
Tim,
him Tim.
Senator Tim said that he thought that the men would win, but suffer a high casualty rate. And this is pretty obvious. Like, if you're gonna fight against a gorilla, like there's gonna be like a decent number that's not gonna make it out, regardless of who wins.
Regardless, there are going to be fatalities fighting the
Yeah,
gorilla. Like, it will happen. It's 100% guaranteed. Not every person is walking out of the gorilla fight alive.
and that's what makes me think. Because if the gorilla like um kills all like the athletic people, and it's just like the old, well, not the old, just like the weaker links left, then that's just game over right there, and the gorilla wins easily.
Well, here, picture this. So there's the gorilla and the people. They're in. We're just gonna imagine it's like a giant field. There's a cage. You can't escape this field. One side there's the gorilla. One side there's the humans. Now, there's so many of them. They can swarm the gorilla, and then once you have it like circled, you just all attack at once. It cannot defend off 100 people attacking it simultaneously. They're going to start piling up. It's going to be chaos, but I think they would defeat the gorilla. It's just highly unlikely that the gorilla will survive 100 people all at the same time attacking. That's why I think they'd win.
Hmm. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Um, I'm trying to find something here.
What is it? You know what? I'm gonna see what ChatGPT would think would happen.
That's a good idea.
Hold on, let me get it pulled up here. GPT. All right. Who who do you think would win? 100 men or one gorilla? Then I'm just gonna specify here the gorilla is a silverback gorilla, and the men are randomly selected. All right. ChatGPT is telling me what it thinks would win. So here's what it says. In a fight between 100 randomly selected men and one silverback gorilla, it believes the gorilla would almost certainly win, at least in the beginning, which I personally think would be the opposite.
Okay.
But then it says over time the numbers could matter and then breaks it down logically. So the key factors it says it's all like the strength and the weight and the bite force, speed and durability of the gorilla, which in the gorilla's defense, it really does have a lot of that. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
quite durable. Um, for the 100 men, it's obviously taking an account for like the elderly, the average, and the like the strong ones. Most wouldn't have combat training, that is true. And very few would be willing to actually engage a wild animal in lethal hand-to-hand combat. However, they are there, and the only way they are getting out is by killing the gorilla, so you'd kind of have to go fight it, otherwise you would die. Now, here it says realistic scenario. The gorilla could easily incapacitate multiple people in seconds, which is quite true. Which is why if you had like only a few attack it at once, gorilla would win. But if you have them all swarm it, uh, then they might win. But here it says even if they try to swarm it, the first 10 to 20 men would be badly injured or killed, which would probably be true.
Even if they're like buff.
Yeah, and then it says eventually with sheer numbers and dogpile tactics, which is how I said that it would probably go, the men could possibly overwhelm the and smother the gorilla. It would obviously come as at an extreme cost, dozens of deaths and serious injuries. What ChatGPT says is initial rounds gorilla dominates, but if the humans somehow coordinate and commit to sacrifice dozens, they might win. But random people no plan, it says the gorilla wins 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Personally, as I said, I think because we have them on opposite sides, I think people would probably get the idea. It's smart if we all go at once, because that's has a higher
That's,
chance of
yeah.
working.
That's just logical.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Um, this debate. I mean, a lot of people honestly are rallying with the men, just because of the fact that like you get a bunch of like coordination, planning, you know,
I mean,
like
logically, the men should win because like they can plan, they can think, that they're human, they use their brain, and they all just work together and then all attack at the same time. Because that's realistically, that's how you're gonna defeat the gorilla. You can't just go hand to hand, one-on-one combat with that thing because it's just gonna hit you and you're just gonna go flying.
yeah. But it depends on as well like what the gorilla is like doing to attack. Because the thing is, realistically, we're not kicking this thing. Like we're gonna be using our hands. We're gonna be getting in there,
Yeah, like
hitting
jumping on
this
it
thing.
and just beating
Like
it.
yeah, but like the gorilla, like it can like kick. It can like grab one guy and then use him
Yeah,
to like knock out like
exactly.
20 other
Which
guys with
is
force. Like
why, well, if the gorilla throws someone, it's not gonna hit 20 people. It's gonna maybe hit like 5,
well, no,
and then
but like if you're swinging him, like if you're swinging him around,
yeah. But here's the thing: they're all coming in at once. You're gonna have like picture back to the children. I know that, but picture yourself. You're in the middle of the playground. They're all running at you. You can't attack all of them at once. They're all gonna start swarming you, and soon enough, there's just gonna be this pile, and you're probably gonna end up dead because so many of them just attacked you at once. You can't deal with all of them at the same time. Like even if you pick them up and start swinging them, like the gorilla will to the humans, there's just so many of them that like they can't watch what's behind it and to the side. It's gonna get swarmed, and that's why it wouldn't last.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I mean it's interesting to think because it really is a 50-50 when you come down to it. Like there's so many factors that like play into it. Like what's the
There really are.
how are we gonna attack? How's the gorilla like? Are we talking about like a movie style gorilla, or are we talking about like just
Harambe.
yeah, like like Harambe, like he's just chill. Like it comes down to just so many factors. Like it's impossible to get a singular definitive men would win or gorilla would win. It's
Yeah,
just
it's such like there's so many factors. Like you could have one draft and get lucky and have a whole bunch of strong people, or you could have one draft and have really unlucky results and the majority of them are weak and won't survive long. Like
absolutely
it's complicated. But like with like just average results, I still think with that many people, you could overwhelm and defeat the gorilla. Like maybe even as like one tactic, use the weak people as cannon fodder. They're in the like the front lines, and then they're the first to touch the gorilla, and then all like the strong people are after, so that they can like beat the gorilla while it's focused on the weak ones.
Yeah, I mean, sacrifices will have to be made.
Sacrifices will have to be made. Not everyone is getting out of the 100 men versus one gorilla fight.
Yeah. So I think to wrap up this segment, I guess I suppose we should talk about the implication of just how many would die.
In my opinion, I'm thinking likely at the very least 20 people are probably going to end up dead. I mean, like, if you think about it, it's a gorilla. All it has to do is smash your head in and you're kind of cooked. But with the amount of people, they should be able to defeat it. It's just there's going to be heavy casualties and lots of people are going to be walking away with from this with severe injuries. Like people could have missing limbs, uh broken bones, maybe
Not,
even paralysis from broken spines and or necks. Like
not to mention PTSD as well. Like as
yes,
whoever, say the men win, the remaining like survivors,
the
they will be
survivors.
traumatized for life. They will not be going near any zoos.
Yeah, if they go to the zoo, they see the gorilla, it's gonna be nom for them.
Absolutely. But yeah, for me, I get what you say about 20. I think
I'm
honestly,
saying at least 20. It
yeah,
could be far more.
I'm
Like
saying I'm saying a solid like 60 deaths. Like
60?
I'm saying 60 because
60,
think,
six
think
zero.
about
That's a lot.
that is a lot, but I've got a good reasoning. Like think about injuries, right? You're in the middle of a field, and there's no, even if these guys, some of the guys know CPR or like have first aid training, they won't be able to assist you because we are all focused on getting the guy at once. So
No,
if you like have like an arm that's just like completely separated, that thing is going to be bleeding. You're going to be bleeding out in the field, and then you just die of blood loss. Like it's like things like that that like add up.
yeah, hold on. That just made me think. People might get trampled too.
Absolutely.
So like realistically, probably more than 20. I'd maybe 40 or 50. Like
Yeah.
but here's the thing, as soon as they defeat the gorilla, they're gonna have like medics come in and like take the people and like try to heal them up. Um, because then the fight's over, they've won. But
Mhm.
like that does bring up some big points. Like people like are gonna be super injured. They're gonna be lying on the floor. They might get trampled or yeah, like
Like even with an air ambulance, like let's like it's
well
gonna be
no,
at
here's
least
the
like
thing. They're gonna
15
have
arrive.
like well no, they're gonna have like people on standby ready to like save
Oh,
these people like right away.
oh,
Like it's not like 2 hours to the hospital. There's gonna be like facilities to heal the people right
okay.
away when it's over. Like if you're injured and you're like not fatally wounded and they've defeated the gorilla, you're gonna make it out. You're gonna survive. But if you like have been fatally wounded or killed while fighting the gorilla, you're not making it.
Yeah,
They will try to save you, but if you're too far gone, then you're not making it.
yeah. Well, I think that wraps it up for this episode.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
difficult. I mean, like we can't come to an agreement on this. Like it it's quite the question.
well, that's what we're here to figure out. You know, we're just here to come up with random questions, take them, what
Try to
ifs,
answer them.
try and sort something out. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Desired Internet podcast. We'll be back sometime
Hopefully
soon with
sooner
our
than
next.
we were before this time.
Yeah, that was our bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be back soon. New episodes on the way. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm
Thank you.
Michael Beckett.
I'm Fred, and thanks for listening.
and we will see you next time.